All right, welcome to the Chroma Awards live stream. Live streaming again after a brief break earlier this week. We're live streaming on Wednesdays at noon, as well as Mondays at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And today we have a great talk with one of our gold sponsors of the Chroma Awards, ImagineArt, a great platform for uh, AI creators in all types of spaces, from advertising to filmmaking, as well as talking to Jagger Waters, friend of ours in the AI space, who is a filmmaker as well as director of events at Escape AI. So lots of great stuff to get into there. Any announcements, Davis, that we can share?
Well, I guess I still just want to remind everyone now the deadline is going to be at November 17th. And also, I just want to say like we are happy to partner with Project Odyssey as joining us again. So basically, we're the same team now, right? And
Yeah,
that's quite exciting. Yeah.
it's exciting because I think we all kind of came together in Project Odyssey, or at least that's how we met a lot of each other. So it's cool that now it's just one big family.
Yeah, and great to see the two communities will come together. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's bring on Kamran and Hamza from ImagineArt, and we can learn a little bit more about their amazing tool.
Hello, hello.
Hello,
Hello.
Maddie, Davis. Great to meet you guys.
Great to meet you.
Nice to see you again. We have Kaman, who is head of product at ImagineArt, as well as Hamza, who is one of their designers on the team. So, first off, like a quick intro, what is ImagineArt and what sets you apart as a tool in this space?
Yeah, absolutely. So, ImagineArt is an all-in-one creative AI suite built specifically for uh, real production for images, videos, sound, and more. And you can start with a text, a sketch, or just a reference image and just get production-ready visuals all in one place. And we are also an aggregator, so we also provide all the top tools for image and video generation into one platform. And for that, just for a quick intro, I think we also have this one video that we would love to play just to give our audience an overview of what ImagineArt can do for designers and all the teams that use our product.
Yeah, let's play that promo.
I can do a lot, but the process? Messy, total chaos. Scattered tabs, endless distractions, ideas slipping away. This ends today with the new ImagineArt, a creative suite that puts it all together. One space, zero chaos. Start with the magic of AI chat. Girl with curly hair and loose sweater. Amazing. Now the real fun begins. Let's set her on a beach.
Now make it night. Perfect. From here, just switch to video and watch it come alive.
If you need more control, use ImagineArt Flow. Experience true creative freedom. With flexible workflows, reusable assets, and limitless possibilities in ImagineArt.
Creation isn't just personal, it's collaborative. ImagineArt keeps your work organized, your team connected. Your imagination is the limit. Imagine something new, something big.
This is ImagineArt, your all-in-one creative suite.
Very nice. Uh, very like it feels like Canva for AI tools, or I guess
But
it
we
is
have an
for
aiming
AI
to
tools.
become.
Yeah. Um, Great. So, in terms of like creators, what are you building specifically for them to help solve their needs and some of the issues that they experience when they're working with AI tools?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are a lot of things that we have been doing. So when we started, we were just an image generation platform, and we started when I was doing this research on what to build. It was before the era when we even started working on ImagineArt. So it was a problem that people it existed. So people needed consistent characters, consistent looks across campaigns that they could use in their campaigns for social media and other marketing related things. So that's what we built this tool on. So we have been working tremendously on improving the user experience and making it easier for the users, where we provide all these controls in one canvas that you can use. So we have facial consistency, we have palette control, and all these tools. You can generate vectors and all that stuff. And since the teams have so many needs, they can start with a sketch or with a text prompt or with an image. So we provide all that into one place. And since everybody could have different needs for a model too, like one model could work on one thing well, but not on the other. So we provide that all in one place and also give suggestions that are AI enabled, that if you are wanting to do something, what is the best tool that you can use for that? So that's what we are doing. We are also providing a platform for integrating APIs. And above all, since we were always driven by community, so there is this community feed and presets that we have been working on, and Hamza will show it later, that how we have been using presets to ease the process of content creation for everyone. So these are some exciting things. So there's this community feed that you can use quickly to see what others are doing for inspiration. If you want to search for something related to a certain color palette or something, that's available, and then presets for getting you started off very quickly. And you have a great community of some of the world's top creators that you can always talk to, get help from. So yeah, that's what we have been doing, and that sets us apart, I guess.
Yeah, and it's really cool, like the focus on community and building that up and helping people learn from each other. And I believe this feed is also helping creators in the community learn how to monetize off of their work as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is something new and exciting that we have been doing. So we realized this potential. We were already working on the community. So we launched our creator program almost 4 months ago, and we saw great success. We already have 1,500 creators in our creator program, which are some of the world's best creators. And there are more thousands of applications pending, because we are very careful about who do we let in into that program. And once we made that, so we realized what were people doing, what were their needs. We talked to the users all the time. So now we are launching this new community feed uh, on which people can start they can share their creations, and they have an option to monetize it in the form of generation of credits or in terms of real dollars. So that's something they will be doing. And I can show a quick overview of how that community feed looks like. Should I?
Yeah, I think that would be great. Um,
Yeah, absolutely. Let
Yeah.
me, uh,
yeah, I know it changed a little bit out of order from what we talked about, but I think it'd
yeah,
be great to show.
yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Oh, yeah. So this is our homepage where we have all the options and the camera control user content creation, but about the community. So this is specifically here. So we have these different options, the popular ones. We have a content moderation team that approves and then lets anybody enter the community. So we have popular, new, and category. So you can search by or discover, and you have an option. If you like something, you can just go there. You have an option to download. If somebody downloads, then you will see that for each download, you will get certain ImagineArt credits that are then translatable to actual dollars. And then if you want to search something, there are the palettes, an option to search from them. You just go, click a palette, and from there, you can just paste it here and search it, and it will show all the images that are using these palettes or created in it. And very interestingly, we have these options to work on projects too, and how you can publish it. So let's say I just want to go to images, and this is something that I created. I have an option to do a lot of things with it. I can upscale it. I can use this image just for the prompt, or just use this directly as an input. I can add animation to it, or I have the option to publish it directly. If I create here on publish your creations, I get this option. So now, as soon as it's published, so I'll go there, and then I have my profile set up here, which says that these were the things that I published. If anybody has liked my creations or my collections, these are just like Instagram. So you like something, you can just save it uh, like this, and you can create your collections. I have this one collection already, but you can create another one too. I'll call it Chroma. and then I create it, and I can add anything to it. So yeah, pretty much like Instagram and any other social platform, that's what we're doing, and people will be able to just view that. And the best part will be monetization. So that one is not live yet, but we are making it live in just a couple of days. So yeah, this is our community feed.
Mm.
That's a really cool platform. And I really encourage anyone watching, if you have any questions for the ImagineArt team, please share. But yeah, I really love that platform because I feel like as a creator myself, I love just watching or seeing all these different things that people are making and then seeing how they made it or seeing if I could do my own spin on it. So like when I'm playing with Sora too, like I love that feature where you can just edit any video that you see on your feed. So it's really cool to see like you build that into your platform. I've never seen something that's like so searchable as well.
Yeah, and I want to say the monetization feature is really great. I believe a lot of the creators out there, they're looking forward for this.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have received a very good feedback on that because when we recently started some campaign, like just 3 weeks ago, and we have seen some tremendous results. Like on Instagram, we launched these weekly challenges of unlimited generations, and we created a new Instagram page just for people to showcase that. And in less than 3 weeks, as of now, we have more than 100,000 organic followers. There are more than 50 million views for that. So this is growing tremendously. People are creating every kind of stuff, and they also want their stuff to be monetized the same way they do it on TikTok or Instagram. So this is something if we provide that. So I guess yeah, this has a very good potential.
Yeah.
Nice. So then speaking of the top creators that you work with, so who are some of your favorite creators? And I believe we brought an example as well to show on that.
Absolutely. So there are many people like whose work I absolutely love, and they always talk to me. A lot of people they talk to me before publishing anything. Like someone, he made this story, Daniel. So he wanted to. He made that as a tribute to his father. So he showed that to me because he said that we feel that Imagine Art is really important to us. So I want to show you that. That was one thing, and then if you talk about my favorite creator work, I think I would leave it to the community. We recently held this one challenge that was called Imagine Art Pulse, and people had to create different kinds of videos, like a best ad or the most viral video. And there was a community choice award. So the creator who won that, I think I would love to play their video, and that's something I really love, and that's what our community loved the most.
Yeah, let's play it.
Can I call you Rose? 'Cause you're sweet like a flower in bloom.
Nice. So romantic.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's funny that that was the community choice. I feel like they tend to lean like more sci-fi or action, but people really like romance.
Yeah, they like all sorts of things. So there was one video. I don't know, but Instagram took it off, but it was very good. So it had some of the most notorious characters in history, like Adolf Hitler and Osama bin Laden
Ah,
and all that. But people created that video. They were doing a rock concert, so that was
ah,
funny about what they created. So yeah, people do everything.
yeah, people are very creative.
Yeah.
Uh, so we had a little sneak peek about ImagineArt's creator feed. Hamza, I know that you came to give us a demo of the tool itself. Do you want us to play the video first and then we can get into that demo?
No, no, we can play that in a bit.
Okay, great.
I just like to share my screen in a bit, but a little bit about myself. So, as a designer at ImagineArt, I'm leading customer success, which means that I get to work with marketing teams using ImagineArt for a range of commercial use cases. I noticed how you said you were expecting something for the reel that Kamran just showed to be something sci-fi. I personally felt that in the past, we've seen a lot of sci-fi or psychedelic sort of visuals coming out, particularly with AI, because that's a limitation in terms of the text, in terms of the tech, and a lack of an ability to generate more realistic results. But now the tech has reached a stage, particularly with ImagineArt, to be able to generate results that can have a lot of commercial use cases, right? So the marketing teams that I work with have commercial use cases that range across multiple industries: branding, filmmaking, advertising, marketing, you name it. So I'm just gonna share my screen first and show you what that process works like,
Yeah,
Yes,
let's do it.
please.
right? I hope you guys can see.
Yeah.
All right.
Infinite.
So Kamran mentioned Kamran mentioned the community. So this is my profile, right? And I'm just going to show you some of my creations, particularly if you follow my screen. So as you would be aware, particularly you, Maddie, how marketing projects work is they operate on a certain creative brief. That creative brief involves branding guidelines, right? So this project that you see on my screen revolved around a brand that makes organic organic snacks, right? And you can see if you follow my mouse, if you want to follow my cursor, you'll see how we've just on ImagineArt, using ImagineArt, we've been able to create generations across every step of the way. So we started with label iterations for these kale chips, right? Then similarly for citrus quinoa ball. Then we were able to translate those label iterations into mockups, right? Placing the labels on actual packaging and then generate images in real world scenarios, right? Then, using ImagineArt within a single screen, we were able to convert those images into realistic images and videos, right? And all of this we've been able to do on Imagine on a single screen, leveraging Imagine's edit functionalities, which leverage Nano Banana and Dream and a range of other models that we provide. And in that manner, we've been able to generate all of this collateral for advertising, including images and videos. But speaking of videos, I another project that I've been working on is the video that you mentioned. That is a promotional video that I've worked on to promote Helio and presets that we've launched that would be very helpful to creators using ImagineArt. So before I move towards that, I think we should show the end product first, and maybe you can show the video, and then I can move over to
Yeah,
sharing
let's do it.
once again.
Seems like that guy's having a real rough day. But it
There
worked
is.
out in the end.
Yeah. So the idea behind this video was to showcase some of Imagine's functionalities, particularly pertaining to Helio 2 and the presets that we provide. So what these presets essentially do is that they provide, they're for people who are looking to generate certain kind of effects within from their initial images, right? I understand that certain kinds of movements or certain kinds of effects to achieve using textual prompts can be difficult for creators, right? That is why we have these built-in presets that creators can use.
Yeah, I think especially those camera moves are super cool to see.
Yeah, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So you saw the image generation panel Cameron showed you earlier. So with
Wait, hold
I
on.
think
I
we're
think
seeing the wrong
a
screen.
different screen. Now we have like infinite screen of us.
sorry about that, guys.
Oh, it's all good. I always love to see that. Okay, now it's on.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, so like I mentioned, Kamran showed you the image generation panel. So you see this navigator above, and with a single click, you get moved over to the video generation panel, right? In this manner, we one thing that separates Imagine is the enhanced UX, right? Which allows for more creative control. So, for example, this is a frame that I've finalized, right? We recommend all of our users, all of our creators to build a storyboard first where they can finalize what their videos are going to look like visually, right? And if I drag this, it gets added down here, right? And over here, I can select from a range of models that are available on the platform. We've recently added Google View 3. We added in a few hours after it was launched. But particularly what I used for this video was Helio 2 Pro. You'll notice how when I select Helio 2 Pro, this little button pops up. When I click on it, you'll see how there's a range of different video effects, right? Uh, I can then click on any of these effects, and it's going to implement those on my reference image without any textual prompt needed. Right. In this manner, I've been able to maintain character consistency, like I showed you, and use these effects to generate multiple clips, uh, which I then stitched together to get the result that I was looking for, which you guys have seen. So all of the assets within that video have been generated using ImagineArt.
So can the user add on the effect, but at the same time still prompt it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
Absolutely. So if there's particular details that you're looking for, in addition to the effect that you've selected, you can do that through the textual prompt. Also, you also have frame interpolation. So in addition to the effect that you select, you also get to select the last frame.
Wow, that's really nice.
Nice. So did you partner like with Hilo specifically to create those presets?
No, I just spent a few hours making it. I did it on my own.
Nice. Are you continuing to do those types of presets for other models as well?
Yeah. Uh, right now, we only offer them on Helio 2 Pro, but we are considering adding them to other models as well.
Yeah, this is a new thing that we have launched. So since we want to make the creation process easier, so for that, these presets will come for every model that's being used by the people. So that's the idea.
Nice. Yeah, really cool. And really cool video too to show like what is possible there.
Yeah, we wanted to show people that how you can build a video of your own. So this was the goal that we gave to, like we had less than a day to launch this thing that, okay, so you have to make a cinematic video, but also show that how presets can be used. What is it that, um, like, that we have launched the presets and how people can use it and how do they look. So that was the idea. So we gave the task to Hamza and I think he was able to do that in a few hours and then we rendered it and uploaded it. So we just wanted to share it with the users that how we are making it so easier for you that if you are just not sure what to do, then just use something existing that we have provided and maybe tweak it if you want.
Yeah, and we have a couple questions about character consistency. So, what tools are available for creators specifically to have consistent characters across their generations?
Yeah, so for that, we are providing character training model. So that's the one tool we have. I think Hamza can actually share his screen and walk us through that tool. So you can just go to character consistency, upload your photos. We also have this bar that shows that how many pictures have you uploaded. Are they enough for your character to be trained? So based on low, medium, good. and you can just simply train your own model, and then you can use it across various campaigns without having the need to change any characters. And he already has selected things, and it works on persons as well as objects too. So that's something that really makes it incredible. And Hamza can show that how he has been using it.
Yeah, one more thing I'd like to mention. So on Imagine, given the amount of functionality, so creators are developing. We keep mentioning workflows, but this is because it's really cool to see how creators are developing their own workflows, right, to achieve the same end goal. So, as for example, with character consistency, we do have the character training, which is essentially the personalized feature. But at the same time, these results that you see over here, I've been able to generate them using the edit functionality, right? Which essentially you don't have to have multiple images of a character. You can use a single image, as I did over here. I hover over my generation, click on edit, and you see how I automatically get my picture gets added over here. And then the models that are available to me are only the ones that offer image editing and in painting, right? Then I can leverage any of these models to translate my characters, my reference images, facial characteristics across multiple generations, and place them in different scenarios, of course.
Great. So you can use this character across different models.
Yeah,
Yep.
across all the models. So that's the idea. So we initially used to have these control nets separately, but then we changed it since the new models came, like Nano Banana, Sea Dream, V4, and ideogram. So we then provided these models. So if you want, you just give a reference image and then you can start using it. And if you want to just train your own character or an object, then that is also an option that you can do
Yeah,
with character
generally,
training.
if I may add, translating the facial characteristics is generally gives a lot more accurate results. For a higher degree of accuracy, you may train it as well as is in commercial use cases for better results.
You're saying a separate model training just for the face?
Yeah.
So you have a model trained on your character. So over the course of your project, you don't have to constantly be referring to other images. You just have the model. You can select that and just add a text prompt, and the platform knows that that's the model or the character that you're referring to.
Nice. Nice hack.
Yeah.
Great. So what's next with ImagineArt? Anything you can share with us?
I think our goal right now, there are two things that are coming up. One that I just discussed earlier as well about the community. So community is launched, but it's we have provided very access to a very limited number of people. So the full launch is expected in 1 week, and then there is the Teams plan that we're launching. That's also expected in the next week. So these two major releases that are coming. So uh, now the teams will also be able to use ImagineArt and collaborate real time, annotate the images, approve workflows. So these are all the things that we are building. And yeah, these are the two major things, and we are really excited about these. And that's the direction we are heading into for solving the enterprise workflows and building a very strong community around product that people can um, um, actually learn from, talk to, and network with each other. So that's the idea.
Yeah, and speaking of community, you shared some social links with us. So Davis, if you could share that in the
Yes, of
chat.
course.
And uh, there is a community event coming up, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So on October 29th, we have this community event coming out with you guys. So we would love to have
Yeah.
everybody who wants to participate in Chroma Awards and see what we are doing. So everybody is welcome to come in Los Angeles.
Yeah, so if you're in LA, October 29th, I think it'll be on the east side. Come hang
Yeah.
out with us. There'll be some free food, I think, or some
Yeah,
snacks at least.
everything.
Yeah. Uh, great. Well, thank you both, Kaman and Hamza, for joining us and sharing a little bit about ImagineArt and for sponsoring the Chroma Awards.
Thanks for
Yeah,
having us
thank
and giving
you.
us the opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you both. We'll move on now to our conversation with Jagger Waters. So let's bring on Jagger. Jagger, are you there?
Hello, Jagger.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey,
Hello,
everybody.
hello.
How's it
Hi.
going?
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining.
Of course, of course.
So you've been a friend of our community and like personal friend of us for a while, but introduce yourself. What brought you to AI and what do you do right now as a filmmaker and with Escape?
Definitely, definitely. Well, I came from the traditional like writing, producing world in film and television and theater and live events if you go back far enough. And I felt AI coming. I played around with the early, back when Midjourney was only in Discord and the good old days of the early tool days, when character consistency was impossible, but you could feel the possibilities. So yeah, and if for anyone who's been following me for a while knows that I help curate and onboard creators at Escape. I am the director of events, and we're throwing a Halloween, a macabre and mayhem horror festival. So I was so grateful to connect with you guys and kind of encourage people who are submitting to Chroma already or the Curious Refuge Halloween conversation competition. Yeah, if you have new horror, anything bizarre, mysterious, weird, even that has a sense of humor, but there's still something kind of creepy about it, please send it to me. You can email me at creator@escape.ai or find me on LinkedIn or find me on Instagram, and I'll send you the right info. You have until October 26th to submit. So this Sunday, there's a few more days. And in a minute, we can queue up the little like movie, like teaser trailer that I put together for this event, which was really fun. But to talk a little bit about Escape right before we screen that, the platform, a lot of the great creators in the space are on it, including Maddie, including just a lot of the biggest names in AI filmmaking. And I think part of that is because this platform isn't like you completely own your IP. You can put things on the platform, you can take them off. You own what you make. There's no weird cut. It's like, the same as putting up, YouTube or Vimeo, but there's an advantage to becoming a creator on Escape AI, which is a lot of the viewer, like the traffic that we get to the site is actually mostly executives from studios right now. Since we haven't done actually like a big public advertising launch, it has all been like internal here in the industry. So most of the traffic, which we get about 100,000 views every month, and that's without any advertising, is actually straight to advertiser or executives, and a few of our creators have been contacted by executives and studios with interest in their IP of turning those into essentially optioning them for further development. So that's a unique advantage of being on Escape. And we have an immersive theater. That's where the virtual screening for this will take place inside our prototype theater, which is compatible with the headsets if you have the MetaQuest or the Apple Vision Pro, or you can watch it on a laptop or your phone. But it's a fun interactive theater. There's avatars that you build, and then there's a chat room. You can be chatting with people during the screening. So, and we're throwing in a few fun Easter eggs into that like immersive virtual environment for the festival. So
Ooh.
that's Escape. And yeah, before we screen the little teaser trailer, is there anything else, the questions you had or anything I should throw in?
No, let's just go straight into that trailer.
Let's
Okay.
watch it.
I like it a
Yeah,
lot.
enjoy.
We come to this place to scream. We come to escape, to gasp, to shiver and shriek. Because we crave it, all of us, that spine-crawling feeling we get when the candles begin to dim. And we go somewhere that scares us. Not just afraid, totally terrified, together. Haunting images on a huge, eerie screen. Somehow, nightmares feel good in a place like this. Monsters feel like the hidden parts of us. Stories feel like death. Because here, they are.
Very nice.
I
Yeah.
just love that AMC reference.
Yeah. So that was the idea. Obviously, you can tell I come from a comedy background because when I was thinking about how can we advertise the event and kind of and promote that it's in a theater, it's in a very interesting immersive theater. So the Nicole Kidman AMC promo felt obvious to spoof it and rewriting it with this horror spin. So that was a collaboration with me and Andy, who works at Escape AI. He's Gen Magnetic on Instagram and X for anyone who follows. But yeah, we collaborated on that and pulled it. You know, we got footage of me in each of those positions,
Nice.
and then you know, combination of style transfers, Juan, Nano Banana, until it looked believable enough. Pretty happy with it. So
It
yeah.
look awesome.
Nice.
It
Yeah,
looks
no,
awesome.
it's like shot for shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was
Yeah.
I was like, if we're
Yeah.
gonna do it, we have to do every
Yeah.
shot. And I'm so happy that it worked out and hopefully build some hype for the event. I'm curating it right now. I'm going through submissions every morning, so I have about 20 artists on the slate, including some new names that I hadn't seen in any of the spaces or competitions. So yeah, encourage everybody to submit.
That's exciting. I think what I like about Escape is it's got this like kind of mid 2000s Vimeo vibe where it's like anyone can submit to the platform, but also there's like heavy curation to it too. So if you go on that front page, like you're guaranteed to see something good, because you and the team are like really curating what comes to the top and like making sure those people get seen. But then because anyone can post, it means that anyone could be found,
Yeah,
which is
well,
cool.
actually, at the moment, anyone can make an account, but you can't post
Oh,
until you
sorry.
like submit. So yeah, you can't. Anybody can make an account and view the films and comment. But if you do want to be a creator, you get in touch with us and um, we'll review your work and see if we can feature it.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
even more curations there. How many requests do you go through?
I mean, every month, like around 50 to 60, probably new creators. For the horror festival, there've definitely been a few hundred. So picking through
Wow.
has been very, very fun. And I think honestly, like any competition, what I've learned doing a few of these, which I'm sure you'll have doing Chroma Awards, is that last 24 hours. A
Yeah.
ton come in that last 24 hours right before the deadline. So I'm kind of preparing for that, the onslaught. And I will say that interestingly, and I do think this is like a VO3 realism side effect, that a lot of the submissions this year are grounded in like eerie realism, and there's less like we did the festival last year. So we did a horror festival last year, and I've seen a ton of horror kind of progress over the last 3 years in the space, right? And initially there were so many like monsters and like big like giant creatures. Almost none, like this year, like everything is very focused on like grounded realism, you know, like hyper realistic people, which is great because now we have that capability. But if anyone's thinking of submitting and you have big scary monsters or giant sequences like that, that will stand out to me because I've gotten a lot of like creepy suspense that's realistic, but not a lot of like jump scares or monsters. So I really do want to see more monsters if anyone if
I'm
anyone's got
down. Yes.
monsters. Yeah. But it's a, like I said, it's a side effect of having really realistic models that can feel grounded in
Yeah.
realism, which I'm um happy to see in the filmmaking space.
Yeah. I mean, I was also feeling this sort of like kind of nostalgia for like the earlier models of the last 2 3 years of that a more uncanniness and like less realism
Yeah.
almost. Yeah.
There's a few horror pieces or just AI films that I feel like I'll never forget. And a lot of them have that, you know, like especially when the models weren't as good, putting that kind of like VHS home footage aesthetic on top of it, which Maddie, you did in one of your films, right, Maddie?
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember like that's it's very memorable when creators have like pulled that. It's really effective, especially to, you can hide the inconsistencies and make it feel vintage at the same time. Like,
Yeah. So, what was that contact again for people who want to submit to the
oh
festival?
yeah, the call to action is creator@escape.ai, or sorry, yes, creator@escape.ai or Jagger at escape.ai. But find us on, if you want to double check or see that, check us on LinkedIn or Instagram, Escape AI Media. Yeah, or message me. Always happy to chat, and hopefully seeing some more monsters
Oh yeah,
Nice.
that will be
soon.
great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious, like, so you've seen so much AI content, probably there's like hundreds of content. To you, what stands out amongst the noise? This is also helpful to know for everyone because Jagger is also a judge for the
For
Chroma
Chroma.
Awards
Yes,
comedy
that's right.
category. So we should know what her taste is.
Yeah, the comedy mockumentary category is definitely the right place to be. If you if the AMC trailer didn't reveal it. Yeah, the reason character-driven humor definitely stands out to me. But regardless of the genre, I think with AI filmmaking, I'm less nitpicky about the super, like, having something that's blemish free is less interesting than having a really good story. Like, there's content that or creators that we've pulled onto Escape where it's like, okay, the AI part isn't perfect, but this is a person who can tell a story. The editing, the character, the suspense is really there, and I think that that's my, yeah. I lean towards, and it's also what worked for me. I think early on in the space where it's like I was not making the most like technically perfect AI films, but I brought a sense of humor and like um just tried to focus on the story over getting the perfect shot. Because sometimes you work so hard to get a really perfect, the exact shot you're looking for, but then you cut it together and it's like, why is this falling flat? And it's because you're compromising story or character at the expense of like a completely perfect visual. So I think that the closer we get to, the post Sora world where it's like everything looks very realistic, everything is like high quality video production, the perfection matters less than the relatability to the character. So that's my my 2 cents.
That's very
Nice.
well said.
Because think about TikTok or social or Instagram, where even if it's not fiction, even if there's like a creator who's saying something that feels relevant to you, whether it's about like relationships or an observation about the world, like and if you look at the traction, the likes, the comments that content gets, if the quality of what's being communicated is really high, the production value can actually be lower. Like we don't care if the green screen behind the create, it's like, oh, it's not perfect, or there's kind of a weird ridge around their head. It doesn't matter if what they're saying is truly valuable to you, it's gonna get a ton of traction and followers. So I think perfection, like done is better than perfect. And the production value, now that we've reached, you know, the climax of high quality production video value, it's more about like, well, what are you really saying? Because if your video looks perfect or the VFX are incredible, if I don't feel anything when I watch it, it won't have the same impact. So yeah, that's exciting for someone who's like writing focused, it's exciting.
Yeah. I mean, touching on that, so your background is in Hollywood as a screenwriter, producer. Where did you learn how to craft a story? Do you have any advice there for our AI creators?
Yeah, that's well put. It's also worth saying that's like I'm still writing screenplay, like I'm writing a movie that like I'm trying to sell traditionally. So AI is one part of my life, but it's really there's these two avenues. Like there's a traditional model that's still working kind of, and then there's like the new AI model that's also working. So playing both is really my strategy. And I mean, story, like my background was in theater, so actually if you look at a lot of really successful TV and screenwriters, a lot of them came from a theater background. I think because theater is so hard, like if you're working with two human beings and you're on a stage where you can't change your scene. You can't bring in any special VFX. The goal, or the only thing you can do, is build an authentic dialogue between two people. You don't have the luxury of cutting to a crazy car chase or throwing in an explosion just to keep me interested. You have to keep the viewer of theater interested. That is like the biggest, that's like the final boss of directing and writing, I think, is a play. So working in that medium for so long, and then starting to write screenplays and being like, oh wow, I can write myself out of the kitchen, or out of the house. Like, you can cut to other places, but I think working within the limitation of something so challenging, where it's like, or it's the challenge that I think would work, is good for a lot of emerging filmmakers, is like, just start with something extremely simple. If you can do something extremely simple very well, then when you start to adopt like bigger VFX and more intense sequences, they will matter more. So a dialogue driven piece, like that's what I'm working on, like between a music video that I'm about to release for a new artist and a few other freelance projects, like I'm trying to squeeze in just a short film that matters to me. And it really is returning to that, like the simplest form of storytelling, which is a conversation with tension and conflict between two characters, whether they're human or not, right? So yeah, I think the theater roots continue to benefit me in the space, even though it feels completely disconnected from AI. It actually isn't.
Nice. We have someone, Robert, who's also coming from theater, so it's interesting crossover. And
Yeah.
yeah, and ADDJ brings up a good point too, in that it's not just limitations in like specific medium like theater, but also years ago it would be difficult if you're making a short film trying to edit and like getting a very specific shot and having to comb
Yeah.
through stock footage or whatever, but it doesn't quite match the vision. Now being able to create it with AI tools is really cool. And in a way it's kind of like the opposite problem where before you
It's
were
too much. It's yeah,
yeah.
that's the taste making comes in, because it's like, if the tiny compromises that you have to make when you're making anything, which we all do, even with VO3, even with Sora, like these almost perfect tools, there's so much to choose from that at the end of the day, you're a tastemaker. And my favorite thing I like to say is AI can't hide bad taste.
Yeah.
So refine yourself, curate, find your taste in what you love, and what you have a good eye for, because AI can't hide that. If anything, it'll expose it, I think.
Yeah.
So
So I
yeah.
think there's a great nugget of wisdom there, is like, maybe those limitations that you experience with different mediums like theater, like being limited in location or lack of effects, like in ways those can help you as a creator. 'Cause then
Yep.
you focus on what's important, which is character or conflict or tension.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
personally, I find this is a good practice as a creative, is just like kind of creating those um, self-imposed limitations, like self-imposed constraints, in order to really focus on what's important. I think we have that
Yeah.
type of conversation with a lot of people, like Davide
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
mentioned
Yeah.
that.
Well, it's like when you put there's a reason that, like, on race horses they put blinders on them.
Mhm.
It's because it's like you stay focused on what are you doing, and like what is the goal, and there's one, you're getting to the beginning to the end, you're not looking around, you're not getting distracted. um that being said, if you work at home, try to get out. That's something Maddie and we've been trying to like co-work for a couple weeks. Like,
Touch
it's like,
grass.
just, hey, no matter what you're working on, like, it's great to, if you can meet 3 or 4 other people that are in your community, in your city, and just get together, even if you're working on separate stuff, like, sit next to each other. You'll learn so much more, and I think be more productive. So we're still so busy. We got to find time, but I think that helps me get out of my head too. Because as much as you have to stay focused on your goal and keep those blinders on, now and then you can reach out for help or learn something over the shoulder of another person, and just don't get sucked too far. We're so far in the machine. We're so wrapped up in tech. It's like, if you're finding yourself, practice some digital wellness. If you're behind your computer 12 hours a day, take a walk, unplug, like, it'll benefit you, and think you'll be happier with whatever you're creating if you unplug now and then. It's important.
Great point.
That's gold. I 100% agree on that. Yeah.
Touch grass.
Touch grass and meet people, meet your friends, create with your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have
Touch
time. Like,
grass.
look, it's the 22nd. You have until Sunday to submit to this festival, and the Chroma, deadline is more later in November. You have time. Like, pull together, get 3 or 4 people, make a team, and challenge yourself to make a film really fast. You might
Yeah.
surprise yourself.
And submit to both.
Yeah.
Submit to both. I think it's really cool that in the community we get to share these different opportunities. Like,
Yeah.
it's not siloed. Like, we had Open Art the other day. They have a music video competition, so it's cool to be
Yeah.
able to
And I'm
share.
still doing it. Like, I'm going to submit to the Open Art music video like, it doesn't get less, it's never less valuable to submit to any festivals and just like continue to get feedback from the public. It's like, hey, is this landing? Like, am I creating something that is resonating with people? And so I'm excited for that one too. And the more the merrier. And I love that we can all cross promote.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm curious, like, professionally, how has AI affected your career?
You mean other than everyone in my life DMing me like all the time? Like, it is funny because I think that I've just become like everyone in my life, whenever they have a question about AI, like they call me, and it's like I gotta set up. I guess I gotta set up the
Same.
consulting LLC because these call. No, I mean, when it's friends or family, it's one thing because they're very curious about what I'm doing. But yeah, it's I think leaning into AI was the smartest thing I've done in the last 5 years. Especially after like going through like the pandemic, still sending out work and having work in development and the strikes, and just leaning into where it's still, or isn't it crazy that it's still early? Like both of you, at least, like it feels like we've been here forever.
Yeah.
But
It's
you
still
actually
early.
like you expand and it's like, wait, this is actually still so new to so many people in media entertainment, but also the world. And I do get, it's possible to get very lost in like whatever next project I'm working on, and it feels like, oh, it's a small world, but it's like, no, we're still very early. And if you're on this call or you're submitting work to these festivals, you're still early to something that is just going to get bigger and bigger. So don't forget that
100%.
too. Yeah, it's a
Have you
big.
had to navigate the business differently as a creator within AI versus like traditionally when you were a screenwriter? Or you're
Well,
still screenwriter, but
yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the biggest, so much of it's the same, like, like relationships and just building friendships that are also connections. That's the same as any industry and entertainment pre-AI. But I think that the biggest thing that's different is just like the scale and the pressure to create constantly, which I'm sure both of you feel too, where it's like there's an urgency where it feels like there's no excuse to just do like a short, like why I should just do a short film a week. And it's like, yeah, maybe, but and some people, like there are creators out there who are really like doing that. But at the end of the day, like I was saying about you gotta touch grass, you gotta have human relationships. So I think the pressure to, like, now that there's so many tools at our disposal, there's a little bit of a like urgency that never goes away. Like I feel guilty for like trying to do other things that are nourishing when it's like, why am I not just like constantly releasing new content? And it's like we have to be real, like, yes, that's great and you can now build a portfolio, but like remember that like we're not AI, like we're humans.
Yeah.
And like you're a human being that needs balance. So as much as I have this pressure on myself to be like, just create everything and like write all the time and just be constantly making films, it's like that's the ideal, but where's the balance? So the biggest difference is it took, like I was just so used to this world and entertainment where it's like it could take 2 or 3 years for a development deal to go through. I mean, no, 2 to 10 years, really. Like I think the script, remember the Queen's Gambit, the chess movie? That was written, like the first pilot was written like 30 years ago. And then the creator the creator kept refining it, and finally, like literally like decades in the making. But the same is true for a lot of major television shows or hits. Like it could take 10 years to make a feature from writing the scripts to producing it. And now that that's changing, now that we have creators who it's like you make a short film, it gets optioned, a studio calls you, and then you're like it's go time. Like the treadmill got so much faster with AI. So I was just used to this world, like with my working with my manager, where it's like, oh yeah, like you write a script and then kind of just wait for years. And it's like, that's not true anymore. Like there's no more waiting. Like you just make it, like keep creating, keep creating. So it's a weird, like the tempo of my life, just like, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I could talk about that forever.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I feel like I've talked to many creators where they like that speed and they like that rhythm. But it's different for every person.
Yeah. And it's part of why we did the Gen Jam or the Machine Cinema guys. We put together like a camping, like an offline event where we went into nature, and we still brought the computers, but it was like, hey, breathe, sit in a
Yeah.
circle, sit around the fire. So I'm passionate about producing events like that too in the community, is hey, something that can get us offline, which is just as valuable. So that's why I like the meetups that Chroma is going to have, and all of that is even calls like this. It brings us together. So
True. Very true.
Yes. So just to wrap things up before we say goodbye, Jagger, I think as curator for the Halloween Fest and Escape, as well as the judge for Chroma Awards comedy
And
category,
documentary. Yeah.
comedy and mockumentary
mockumentary.
category. Cannot forget mockumentaries. Just really quick for the audience, what are you looking for? What will stand out to you?
Yeah,
Say.
yeah. I mean, like I said, I think like character, something that's relatable on the human level. It sounds vague, but um, I think if you're looking at your script or your idea, strip away the fancy visuals and ask yourself, what is the core conflict? That's what's, I think, missing from a lot of AI films, is like, okay, if you took away the fancy world, the set design, the costume, the creature, what is the story? Go see Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. Well, it's only in select theaters, so you have to go to the Netflix theater at the Egyptian in LA, but it'll be on Netflix soon. I saw that movie over the weekend, and you strip down the story of Frankenstein, and it really is a conflict between like creator and the creation, between God and man or woman or whatever you want to call it. It's an existential story of like, why am I here? What is my purpose? We get wrapped up in the creepy, in the body parts being sewn together and the lightning hitting Frankenstein, but that's not the story. The story is a creature demanding to understand why it exists. And that's relatable. Not the relatable part is that, not the horror aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, great advice, even for the comedy category too.
Yeah.
Comedy as conflict.
No, exactly. The same thing. And like, you think, oh, it's funny because there's this visual gag is happening. It's like, it's not usually the thing that makes comedy successful is something deeply relatable, not something where you're like, oh, that's funny because the action is something we'd laugh at. The thing we're laughing at is, you're like like I love Tim Robinson, and I think you should leave. And as cringy as it is, like his sketches, if you watch those, or his content, like it's the same thing. You strip back and it's like, this is a person running from their shame. This is a person who's afraid to be seen for who they are. That's the core beneath the hilarity or the hot dog joke.
The zip line. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Jagger, and sharing those opportunities with us.
Yeah.
Everyone submit to the if you're making horror, submit to the Escape Festival by this Sunday. And of course, submit to Chroma Awards by November 17th.
17th.
Yeah.
Wraps up today's live stream. We'll see y'all again next Monday, 7
Yeah.
p.m.
Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you. Thank you, Jagger.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Bye.
Jagger. Thanks, Davis.
Thanks, Maddie. Bye.